Hey guys, what's up? Bricks here, back for another video. You're watching Book by Bricks, yay, all that good stuff. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Not reviewing, not blogging, but reading. I know it's going to sound boring. Anyway, in case you guys didn't know, I am currently in the midst of writing a book called The Daily Life of Zach. Basically about this kid who also turns out to be a super spy. Or, you'll find out. And I thought I'd share a bit of what I've read so far. So, I'm using a pen name, which is Charles Whittlesford. It's weird. My I have two middle names, Woody and Charles. Woody is short for Whittlesford. Charles isn't short for anything, but I thought I'd use them too. And use them as my name for my book. That is not my real name. So if you search that up in a few months or years, whenever this was already been done, if you search it up before or after, you're either going to get nothing or you're going to get covers of the book or something. I don't know. Alright, so The Daily Life of Zach by Charles Whittlesford. DLZ 1, The Daily Life of Zach, yeah, whatever. Alright. Chapter 1, and so we begin. Zach Wanwood, nice to meet you. Alright, so I'm going to move the camera to the side a bit so I am able to read the story. Alright. And before I start, I will say I got some inspiration from other books and movies for parts of this, so if something sounds familiar and it's from another book or movie, the reason is I probably got some inspiration from that. Alright, so, Chapter 1. So we begin. Zach Wanwood, nice to meet you. Okay, I know what you're thinking right now. If you've read the back, you know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm talking about. How can a 14-year-old kid be a super spy? Well, my mom asked me, Zach, if you can be anything in the world, what would you be? And I said, can I please be a super spy? That's what I always wanted to be. And, yeah, right. Then I won the lottery 7 times in a row. Now I'm a multi-billionaire. I answer all the questions to life and world peace. In your dreams. I hate to say it, but if you want that sort of book, check out The Adventures of Lucky Lou. That's a fake book I made up, by the way. I'm sure you'd love it. What did I just click? Oh yeah. Okay, something just happened. Alright. Give me a second. Alright, so check out The Adventures of Lucky Lou. This story, however, is violent, gory, filled with deaths, knives, loaded guns, car crashes, explosions, and... Peter, can you turn down that music? I'm trying to write my life story. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, here's how I, Zach Wanwood, became the youngest spy ever. Cue the music! Peter, you can turn the music on now. Alright, so that's Chapter 1. That's like the introduction chapter. Chapter 2. How I knocked out 3 people, got suspended, punched a few more people, and became a spy. So this is my life story, The Daily Life of Zach. If you aren't interested in a story about a kid spy having to save the world on several occasions, please put this book down immediately. Or in this case, click out of the video. This isn't the full story, but it's kind of getting to that part. So if you want this series to become a thing, like every time I go through a few chapters of writing this, comment, and you want me to read that out loud from where I was in this episode, then comment hashtag DLZ, hashtag do more DLZ, stuff like that, I don't know. I'll let you guys figure that stuff out in the comments. Alright. Please put this book down immediately because it might not be your type of story. So in order for me to tell you the story, you're going to need to go back to when I was 14. Almost 2 years ago. Back in the year of 2017, I was 13. I hadn't had my 14th birthday yet. And in middle school. Even for my age, I wasn't what you'd call smart. My highest grade was 82.7, and my lowest 0.2. But I love to read. And you must since you're reading this. Especially realistic fiction. But this did not help my case whatsoever. It was a math test. It didn't help that math was boring to me. I may be failing math, but in my defense, the most boring subjects got the most boring teacher. Enter Mr. Robinson. Born in 1944, the oldest and most boring teacher in Brooklyn Middle School. By the way, that's a made-up school. Don't go looking for that. His class is even more boring than watching grass grow or paint dry. Wait, no, I take that back. Mr. Robinson teaching social studies would be even more boring than 3 of them combined. That's paint dry, grass grow, and math class. Good thing he doesn't teach social studies. What was that? As soon as Mr. R said begin, I fell asleep. I've dreamed about zombies. Gross, brain-splitting zombies. Bad stuff, definitely. Alright, I was the last survivor in a zombie apocalypse. And I needed to get out of town as fast as possible, or I would die. That wasn't gonna happen on my watch. I got into my half-destroyed F-150. The license plate reading RUM4U was half smashed. Zombies were beginning to crawl all over the truck, so I hit the gas pedal. That caused almost all the zombies to either let go or get ran over. Well, all but one. I turned this way and that, trying to shake him off, but it just wouldn't work. Then the zombie yanked out the engine. I had to jump out or I would die. However, the door was jammed. Dang it, I thought. So I had to do the only possible thing I could think of. I opened the window and jumped out. The zombie jumped off the truck and ran after me. Like I just noticed a mistake. Hey, even in this, you notice mistakes. Put on instead of off. It was unbelievable. But then the zombie tackled me to the ground. Zach, wake up, the beast said. But I swung my baseball bat that conveniently showed up. Hey, it's a dream. And knocked the head off. But the head... Wait. Hey, it's a dream. And then I knocked the head off. But what came next terrifies me to this day. The zombie didn't just regenerate its head like normal zombies, but the head on the ground continued to speak. Zach, wake up. That's pretty creepy. This came straight out of my nightmares. I shot up and punched Mr. Robinson in the nose. Mr. Robinson, I'm so sorry. It was probably best not to continue. Mr. Robinson's nose was dripping with blood. Plus, he looked angrier than I've ever seen him before. Principal's office, now. But, I said before getting interrupted. No buts. Principal's office, now! I got up out of my chair, clearly angry and frustrated, and walked to the office of Miss Clara Century. She's the principal of BMS. That's Brooklyn Middle School. By the way, I just realized that they have the same initials as my middle school. And I wrote this before I even know that I was going to that middle school. How convenient. She's the principal of BMS, and therefore the leader of my nightmares. She's a pretty woman, but don't let that fool you. Mr. Robinson may be the most boring person in the school, but Clara is the meanest, strictest person in the school. She's also big and fat. Okay, I was the first living person to see our new principal. After the old one quit, per se, Century stepped in and took the job. I'm writing as a 15-year-old, not a 13-year-old. So that's how I told you that stuff 3 paragraphs ago. About her, being a pretty woman, but don't let that fool you. That stuff? Yeah. So the Office of Sentry is the cleanest place you'll ever see. It's filled with neatly stacked sheets of paper. Probably unpaid bills. In front of me there was a large leather desk. There's a large leather chair behind a large desk. Both looked expensive. The desk was filled with very exotic objects. Special rocks, leaves, and blurry pictures. There were rumors of this place, of this office. I was the first kid to enter this place, and I would be the first living person to see the principal to prove or even disprove any of the theories and rumors. Some were that Sentry was an alien, others stated she was actually a man, and some even a rat. All weird, silly, stupid, dumb theories, and all of which were crazy. No one believed them except those who believed them, which were the crazy, stupid ones that created the theories. That's not in the book. I came up with that right on the dot. Pretty cool. There was a bell on the desk. It was one that you'd put on the front of a hotel desk, like an expensive hotel desk, not in a principal's office. I rang the bell. What else was I supposed to do? Ding! Almost immediately, the chair spun around to reveal a shadowed woman. The dark of the room and her clothes shadowed her face. She was smoking a big cigar. The cloud of smoke almost fully covered her face, but I got a rough outline of it. Zack, 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 she said. I've been watching you for a while now. Sentry talked in unnaturally low and a scratchy voice. It was very creepy. I know why you're here, Zack Wanlord. She continued, Mr. Robinson called me before you came. He told me everything. She kept talking, but I wasn't paying attention. I just looked out the window that lay behind Sentry. Besides a filthy street, I saw 3 cop cars and 1 helicopter at full speed chasing a crook. The fiend was wearing a hood, gloves, leather jacket, and expensive-looking shoes. He was carrying a big bag of something. It's probably some diamonds or a whole lot of money. Man, I thought, I wish I was a cop. Never a dull moment. At least I would beat this place. But then something caught my eye. One of the cops walked up to a lamppost and put something on it. A wanted poster. It read, Marcus D'Amito. Wanted, Marcus D'Amito. Reward, $500,000. So, I'll let you off with a warning, but you have got to get a good night's sleep so this doesn't happen again. Okay, Zack? Okay, Principal Sentry, I said. Sentry looked at me suspiciously before letting me go back to class. Lunch. Well, Jack Akers? Well, Jack Akers said. I said, let me restart that. Well, said Jack Akers, who just so happened to be my best friend. What did she look like? Was she hot? I don't know, I said. What do you mean you don't know? Jack said, clearly annoyed. I mean I don't know, I said. The smoke from her cigar covered her face. I couldn't see through it. It was that thick. Just a sec, I don't know why that's there. Jack sighed, but then he looked scared. Zack, Jack squeaked. And then I felt breathing down the back of my neck. It was Gavin Farrell, the school bully, along with his 5 boyfriends. Where's my money, Sorry, Gavin said. Why do I owe you money? I said. What did I do? You're sitting in my seat, punk. I thought you and your boyfriend sat over there. Zach, let's just move. We know when we're not wanted. Jack said. This isn't your fight, twerp. Back off, cried Gavin. Now, Zach, what did you say to me and my friends? I'm sorry, I said, which caused Gavin and his posse to smile. But I continued. What I mean is that if you don't back down in the next 5 seconds, I will beat you like a set of drums. I guess I had said that louder than I meant to, because that made the rest of the cafeteria ooh and ah. Next thing I know, all the students were chanting, fight, 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 fight. Then I felt Gavin's fist hit my face. Now I'm on the ground with blood coming out of my nose faster than a waterfall. But I don't give up that easily, and Gavin knows it. As soon as I stood up, Gavin began to choke me. So I reached out for a pressure point and, well, put pressure on it. Now we're both on the ground. One of us out of breath, and the other hurt. I looked over to see Century standing next to me. She seemed angry. But when my vision became clearer, I saw that it was Gavin being dragged away. And he was also angry. I was suspended for 1 week for fighting, and therefore sent home early. On the way home, I saw three middle-aged men beating up a kid that looked about my age. Just as the kid were about to be punched again, I grabbed the punching man's arm, pinned it behind his back, and kicked him to the ground, which knocked him out cold. The other two figured I was hostile, so one grabbed a crowbar and the other a handgun. But that was meant to be like, and the other one, gulp, a handgun like, oh, yeah. This was serious stuff. I lunged at the crowbar man, kneeing him in the soft spot, aka between the legs, took the crowbar, knocked the gunman out with it, and then held it to the last man's throat tightly until he passed out. That says throat. That should say throat, not throw. Just a sec. Alright, throat. And until he passed out. I'll continue on. I'll fix that later. Thanks, said the kid, but I didn't need help. We shook hands and introduced ourselves. Tell that to your bleeding lip. Tell that to your bleeding nose and lip, I replied. I'm Peter. Peter Peterson, he said. Zach Wanlord, I said. I work for NASA, Peter told me. Well, I did before they fired me. Why'd they fire you? My job wasn't necessary anymore. Just then, a snazzy-looking car pulled up. And two people stepped out. One looked like a young James Bond. The other like Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black. Where would the ISS... Where would the ISSS? Wait, what's that? Where would the ISSS? The International Society of Spies, said the oldest-looking spy. I'm Newton Lawson, said Newton, the youngest-looking one. This is my mentor and partner, Jonathan Struvel. Wouldn't something like the Kingsman or SHIELD be easier to say than the IS something? I asked rhetorically. Were you the one that beat these three up? Depends, I replied. Were they your friends? No, said Newt. These three have been on the run for 4 straight months. Jackson's been doing a better job on hiding than a stupid, dumb, and no-brain here. Jackson who? Never mind that, said John. Now answer the question. Yeah, I took him out. Just a flick of the wrist and they were all unconscious. Newt raised an eyebrow like he didn't believe me. He's telling the truth, Peter chimed. How'd you beat them? John asked. My dad taught me jiu-jitsu when I was younger, I replied. Well, in that case, you're going to want to come with us. Where was I? Yeah, in that case, you're going to want to come with us. What is this called? There we go. Alright. I know you shouldn't accept rides from strangers, but I didn't have much to lose. Alright. I guess it's time to come clean. But promise me that you'll never tell anyone about this. Don't ever, a bunch of other evers, ever tell anyone or I'll hunt you down and kill you. When I was around 9, my parents died in a fire. Why is this so embarrassing, you ask? It's not. But if you ever lost someone, then you know you don't like talking about it. I've been from foster home to foster home. No one wants me. My current foster parents are the worst yet. Their son, Benny, gets a luxury bedroom. 3 king-size beds. Or should I say 3 king-size beds. A butler. Their dog, Snappy, gets double that. 6 king-size beds. 2 butlers. And I guess that means like an extra-sized luxury a double-sized luxury bedroom. Or, 2 normal-sized ones. Even that I didn't think. Alright. What do I get? That's the question I've been asking myself 6 weeks prior. All I get is a pillow, an uncomfortable couch, and a glass of water, 5 Cocoa Puffs if I'm lucky. We're at 22 minutes already. So far this read is longer than the alien epidemic. Mr. Beaverini, aka the CEO of Beaverini Corp, is a jerk. The only part I enjoy about this place is the road trips or vacations. Yeah. Well, they're gone to Hollywood or Disney. I get the entire engine to myself. I'm quite literally the only one in the building. Even the butlers go on vacation. I'd rob the place of food and sleep all over the good beds. It's heaven. No one ever found out. I put everything in the exact place. It was awesome until they found out. What I didn't know was in the kitchen and the rest of the mansion had security cameras. As a punishment, I was locked up in the basement for a solid week. I had to make 2.5 Cocoa Pebbles, half a glass of water, and 1 piece of toast last a week. But instead, I smashed a conveniently placed window and climbed out. I'd been living on the street ever since that point. It was awful. There were restless nights and storms like no other. I hated it. Newton-John's car was a real beauty. It was a super snazzy sports car. A Vexler 9 to be exact. Sorry, I don't do good with home rules. A Vexler 9 to be exact. Vexler is the most well-known vehicle brand on Earth. By the way, this is a made-up company. They sell trucks, regular cars, minivans, sports cars, buses, trains, planes, boats. And so many people buy from them. Beaverini Corp is sponsored by them. Alright, I'm just gonna move this closer. That's good. The windows of this car were tinted. Plus, Newt told me it was bulletproof. The thugs were put in the trunk. When I got in the car, I decided to introduce myself. Allow me to introduce myself, I said. I'm Zach. Zach Wan. We know who you are, Zach, Newt said. Okay, I was officially creeped out. How do you know me? Newt held out my wallet with the driver's license I'd gotten from Legoland when I was 7. You dropped this in the fight, he said. Thank you, I said sarcastically as he gave it back to me. But you asked if I had beaten them 3 up. How'd you find it? How'd you find it then? It was a test of honesty. We saw you beat them up. But wouldn't anyone admit that they beat them 3 guys up? You'd be surprised. Most people wouldn't admit it because it could spell trouble for them. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this. Where am I? Most people wouldn't admit it because it could spell trouble for them. At least that's what they think. As much as I wanted to join a top secret spy organization, I didn't trust these people. They didn't show me their badges. They didn't show me their badges, and the ISSS seemed pretty fake to me. Sorry, I want to make sure I counted 3 S's. It just didn't feel right. Not at all. Well, this is my street. I'll just pull over. Alright, you guys can just, pull over. Do you think you can fool us, Zach? John asked. Stay the course. That should say course. Right click. Stay the course, and you may have a better life and family. You could be a hero to all. Do you tell this to all the people you hire? I wondered. Newt snickered. Newt snickered. Only the special ones, he replied. What would happen if I accepted the terms and conditions and all that stuff? What would happen? I said. Where would you take me? What would you do to me? I'm afraid that's classified. The only way to find out is to join the ISSS. Alright, when do we start? Whenever you're ready, Newt replied. And that's the end of chapter 2. Well, I classified the introduction as chapter 1. I just read chapter 2, and I'll save chapter 3 for when I finish it. Excuse me. It's currently 13:11, if you guys can tell me what actual time it is. At 9:15, that's September 15th, 2017, Friday. But if you can tell me what 13:11 is, that's an easy question. We'll get a shout out in the next video. The first person to reply with that question will get a shout out in the next video. And, yeah, I think that's just about it. I don't think I'm going to do any giveaways at the moment. Oh, yeah, if you guys want to see me do more of this, comment hashtag DLZ down below. And I'll read you guys the next chapter when I'm done with it. So you guys can basically get this book read to you before it's even released. But then again, there might be additions, there might be changes happening. So, and this isn't, I might not even read the full thing to you. I might just read up to a certain point, and then I'm like, hey, if you guys want to read the rest, then go buy it when it stores. I'll probably spare you guys the last 5 chapters. Sorry, but I'll tell you guys when it's published and when it's hitting stores. So if you guys want to read it, read them last 5 chapters, read the book. If you want to reread it to actually get a feel of it yourself, you can do that. Currently still in the works. It'll probably take a few months. I can't promise when, though. I can promise it'll be sometime 2018. It's currently September 2017. So if I work on it now, I might get a chance to finish it by the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, and then it'll be published around then. If it ever does get published. If it doesn't get published, I'll probably just read you guys the whole book. But I won't read you guys the last 5 chapters unless okay, I haven't wrote up to that, but I'm saying when that time does come. Anyway, like I said, comment hashtag DLZ if you want to see more of this stuff. Comment down below what actual time 13:11 is, and make sure if it's AM or PM, that stuff. If you want to put the exact date, okay, not current seconds, but if you want to put the exact date, like the month, the day, the year, the actual day, like what day of the week is it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? That stuff you can do it, get a shout out. Most likely you're going to get a shout out if you put the whole date. All that good stuff. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out my buddies at Let's Noobit, The Reaper. Okay, that's not his actual name. I'll put the links to their videos. Put the links to their channel in the description below. Have a good day. You know I love my fans. You know I love all that view. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.